Appreciate everybody being on here. Like always, obviously, you got to give Maryland credit. They played well, and we did not. We've had games in the past where we started slow on offense, and our defense kept us in the game long enough for our offense to rally back, and vice versa. We've had games where we've played well on offense early and struggled on defense. We haven't really had a game where we didn't play well in either phase early on in the game. So obviously we got to get those things corrected. There's a lot of things that we got to get corrected. Ultimately, it's my responsibility, and we'll get to work on it on Sunday. So I know you guys got a lot of questions. Open up the questions.
First question will go to Mark Brennan, and Audrey Snyder, you're on deck.
James, I think you gave up over 19 yards on every third down or on the third down completions in the first quarter. Can you explain what was going wrong there? Was there a lack of preparedness, or did they hit you with stuff you weren't ready for?
Well, I think obviously when you have big plays like they were able to have, it skews the stats. But I think your point is more than fair. They made big plays. We weren't as competitive as we needed to be. We were out of leverage. They had a few little wrinkles, to challenge our man coverages, and did a nice job of executing them. So we got to get better. There's no doubt about it. We got to look at the tape, make the corrections, but we were not competitive early on in the game.
Audrey Snyder and Rich Scarcella, you're on deck.
James, was there any consideration given to maybe pulling Sean, whether in that third quarter or late in the game? If not, why?
Yeah, for me, with starting quarterbacks, you want to do everything you possibly can with your starting quarterback to give them a chance to be successful and to rally the team. The guy's in that position, obviously, for a reason. In the second half, we still felt like we had an opportunity to go out and get this thing swung in the other direction. And at the time, we felt like it was the right decision.
Rich Scarcella, Dave Jones, you're on deck.
James, you said that you weren't competitive early on. Why is that, especially after opening the season with losses?
Say that again.
You said that you weren't competitive early on in this game. Why weren't you, especially after losing your first two games?
Yeah, they made plays. They were able to stay on schedule on first and second down and create a bunch of manageable third down situations, and we're able to do that really for the majority of the game. And then offensively, we weren't able to get the running game going, which everything builds off of that, and that continues to be an issue for us.
Dave Jones, New Bias Wilborn, you're on deck.
James, one trademark of your teams is, I can't think of a time really when your guys didn't seem spiritually ready to play. Is that your opinion, that they weren't ready to play, or do you disagree with that?
Yeah, I can understand after watching the game, why you would ask that question. During the week, I felt like we did the things necessary to come out and play well. Wasn't perfect, but we've had issues in the past that we've been able to overcome. And based on what you watched today, I could understand why you would say that. But during the week, is typically how you can tell that, and there weren't signs of that.
New Bias Wilborn and T. Frank, you're on deck.
Coach, you talked repeatedly about the running game, and again, it seemed like there was struggles today. What was going on with the running game in particular?
You're mumbled there, New Bias. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Let me tell you, with the running game, what was going on there that you guys weren't able to get any traction?
Yeah, I gotta watch the tape, but we weren't sustaining blocks. We haven't been able to break tackles consistently and make people miss consistently. It's been similar for the first couple weeks. We're not getting consistent push. We're not sustaining blocks. And then obviously we're not breaking tackles and making people miss. And then, we're not able to put people in conflict with the RPO stuff because there's not enough respect and concern for the running game right now.
T. Frank, followed by Tyler Donahue.
Hey, James, going off of that, you have mentioned that Sean's been put in a lot of tough situations over the last 2 weeks, and he's been put under pressure quite a bit. How do you feel he's performed under pressure, and how do you separate the two when you're evaluating your quarterback?
Yeah, I think, again, we got to be able to get the running game going, and we got to consistently protect our quarterback. There's too many times where he's under pressure and getting hit early in games. He's been hit way too many times this season. He's been sacked too many times this season. He's been under pressure too many times. And does that have an effect? Yeah, it does. But obviously there's some throws that we need to make. It's all of it. There's some catches that we need to make. We all own responsibility in this.
Tyler Donahue, Neil Rudell, you're on deck.
James, I understand your point on keeping Sean in from the first question there, but under a new offensive coordinator who has not used any of the quarterbacks play in a game in the direction, is it imperative to see Will Levis, Saquon Robertson, or any other guys on Clipper to get those reps under the rock direction so he can evaluate that group as a whole now and moving forward?
I'm having a really hard.
Can you evaluate the backup quarterbacks and getting them into the game as a whole?
Yeah, Will has obviously played in the past and has done good things, and Taquan continues to improve. Obviously, based on who has started and based on what he's done in his past, we felt like again he's earned that right.
Neil Rudell, Audrey Snyder, you're on deck.
So you guys have really had your way with the last couple of few years. Do you feel that you guys may have underestimated them, or just how do you assess that?
Yeah, I don't think we've underestimated anybody. We when you haven't been successful the first couple games, it's hard to underestimate anyone. So that's not how we've approached it. Our approach hasn't changed. It's been the same approach it's been for 6 years. But obviously there's things that we got to get fixed, and there's things that we got to improve, and we got to play better. And we've kind of lost 3 different ways, and in years past we have found different ways to win games. And we need to get it fixed, and we need to get it fixed fast.
3 more questions. We'll start with Audrey Snyder. Mark Brennan, you're on deck.
James, your defense has given up 5 touchdown receptions of 26-plus yards in the last 2 games. What needs to change with this defense?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the tape to get into the specifics and the details with you. But we got to get more pressure on the quarterback. We got to contest more balls, be better in tight coverage, and then when people do make catches, we got to get them on the ground, and we got to consistently wrap. So obviously going through this tape in great detail and make corrections will help.
Mark Brennan, and the last question will go to T. Frank.
James, how would you assess the play of your offensive line? You went with a lot of different personnel there. Was that you thinking you have good depth, or was that you looking for answers to try to get things going? Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Trying to find the right mix of personnel in there, and guys that have done some good things in practice deserve the opportunity to get in there and get some reps and get some opportunity to see if we can find the right 5.
And last question, T. Frank.
James, how hard is it to make a comeback in a game if at a certain point you have to abandon what you want to do and philosophically the idea and the identity of your team at a certain point?
Well, we've had to do that in the past. You know, that happens for a lot of teams where you gotta change your style of play, and you know, we weren't able to do that, but that's going to happen. You're going to get down by points. Hopefully, you can keep it close so you don't have to change dramatically. But if you get down by, you know, obviously, you know, 21 points or more, depending on the point of the game, you know, it forces that, it dictates that.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, Shirley?